is socially awkward. An introvert cannot speak in public. So let me tell you, you have come to a perfect place. CDTM provides you a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop leadership, communication skills, and become more and more confident. Now, this is also related to our theme today, confidence that moves mountains with TMOD, TM district. On that note, let me call upon the president of our club, Toastmasters International. He is currently pursuing his bachelor's from IT University, and I would say he is an extremely hardworking and a positive support to this club, Toastmasters International.
Thank you very much, Madam Sergeant Town, for that wonderful and kind word. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you all doing today?
Great.
I welcome you all to this meeting of Central Delhi Toastmasters. Before moving ahead, let's take 30 seconds to close our eyes and pray for world peace. Thank you very much. Today I would like to share a story which my grandfather once told me. And before starting that story, I would like to ask all of you a question. Who do you think is the wealthiest man in the world? The wealthiest man in the world, how much wealth does a person need to have in order to become the wealthiest man of the world?
Does wealth and money?
Yes.
Experience.
The wealth means money in this question.
Elon Musk.
Once a wise man has said that the wealthiest person is the person who has an income of $100 more than his wife's sister's husband. What that means is, if in your circle, if you have the highest income, then you will feel the wealthiest man in the world. And same stands for other things. If your waist size is the least in your group of people, you will feel the slimmest. And while the vice versa is also true. This point here is that every time our satisfaction depends on whom we compare ourselves to. And most of the time that the external world which we compare ourselves to. Of course, that is one good measure of keeping yourself very competitive and improving towards next level. But in most of the circles, including public speaking, when it comes to, the person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you yourself. Do you remember your icebreakers? When you first came on this stage and delivered that, I was sweating a lot and I couldn't come on stage the very first time. And when the TMOD said Toastmaster Karanvir with his icebreaker, I said no. I did not want to be that person, but now every time the stage has given me a chance, I would like to respect it. And all thanks to my perception, where I now understand that we need to compare ourselves with ourselves. Karanvir in the past is not Karanvir right now in the future. And this is all what you should also be doing. Surely in your Toastmaster journey specifically. If you are not doing that, take some time out and do that. Now it's time to welcome and acknowledge some dignitaries present in the room. Please help me welcome International President of Toastmasters International, past International President, Distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Mehta. May I know from the virtual audience if you are able to hear us clearly?
Yes, we are able to hear.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now it's time to welcome the guests present in the room, physical as well as virtual. I'll start with guest Arun. Guest Arun, would you like to please introduce yourself with your name? What do you do and how did you come to know about Toastmasters?
And I am a manager in MCNL, and I came to know about Toastmasters with one of my friends. He was associated with the legal Toastmasters for last 6 years. So and I joined to the virtual event meet, and last week I was also there. So I found that environment very energetic. So kudos for this, this stage, and I am here. I am, honored. Yeah.
Thank you for those words, Arun. And now it's time to welcome our former member, Toastmaster Harshvardhan. Toastmaster Harshvardhan.
I am the former member of this club, and I was a former member of Delhi Toastmaster, and I was previously associated with the club Toastmaster leadership and speaking skills, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Harsh, for coming back again today. I see guest Tanishq in the virtual audience. Guest Tanishq, would you like to please come and introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. Is my voice audible to everyone out there?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So I am an engineering student studying in IPO right now, and I got to know about Toastmasters from a friend of mine. He suggested me, and some few things about me are that I like to play football, and I'm interested in technology. So these are the few things about me. Yeah. Looking forward to the journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanishq. Now may I request guest. Okay, the guest seem to have left. May I now request guest Nikki to please introduce herself to the class.
Hello everyone, my name is Dinky Suja. I am a second year medical student at Lady Harvard Medical College, and I came to know about Toastmasters from Karate. She forced me to come here today. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much for that spoiler. Now it's time to take this meeting forward. Before taking this meeting forward, I would let you know that we have another member in our family now, Toastmaster Simran, who was previously a part of JPKU Toastmasters Club, is now part of Central Delhi Toastmasters. She is a virtual attendee today, and she also has a speech today. Now it's time to take this meeting forward and welcome someone on the stage who has taken the club by storm as soon as he joined the club. Not only he has completed all the 5 levels of his path, but he has also taken the club's name forward in terms of international speech contest, evaluation contest, and table topics contest. With his theme today, the confidence that moves mountains, please help me welcome Toastmaster Ritwik. Toastmaster Ritwik, confidence that moves mountains.
Back in the 20th century, there was a man, Ralph Smith, who wanted to incorporate great skills in the culinary field in those days. No wonder today Toastmasters International is affiliated to many Michelin-star restaurants, and it strives forward to create the best of the master chefs in the world. Now, some guests might have a cardiac arrest after listening to this. They thought they have come here for improving the communication skills, and I am going forward on coloring skills. Well, if you really took me seriously, let me tell you, what was that trait that I was using on the stage at this particular platform, which perhaps made you believe in the lie that was going on telling and presenting for you. Well, Toastmasters is just a communication skills. There are absolutely nothing, and none of the objectives today is one of the best solutions for improving your communication skills, not the coloring skills. With all that you said, which is one of my pillars, shall we give you last time today, I would love you all to take it down. That confidence is something that can add stars to your personality. I'll give you an example. I remember one day when I went to my father, it was before the day of our National Children's Science Congress. I was in class 7. My father is a politician by profession. I went to him and I told him, Father, you give a lot of speeches. I've heard you on the TV, I've heard you on the conferences. Give me some tips how I can add stars to my speech. He told me something very relevant. First, he asked me, you won't judge me. I told him, yes, I won't judge you. He told me, tell the lie so confidently that it seems to be the truth. Okay, not a huge problem. It's pretty easy. The next day I went, it was a presentation on jackfruit oil, which was also to be consumed as a sustainable fuel. I had no idea what the presentation was. I went on speaking on jackfruit, how it is used all over California, here and there, but it was nowhere even present in California. And the judges, I stood 7th in the district. That particular competition, I was selected to the state level. Now, you may think all this to be a gimmick, that I am making you dishonest. I'm not. Because in a mundane society, if you got to be diplomatic, there will be times when sometimes hardships, 4 plus 4 will not be equal to 8. And that's where your diplomacy and confidence will come into the picture. I will not be saying with all that we said here, but I will be using another pillar here. After having said that, let's now move forward with not those cliche lines of how you can improve your confidence level, but something else. With something I use in my speeches to take that attention out of the judges, out of the jury, out of the audience awareness. First thing, posture. While you stand, please keep this a note. You should stand straight, chest wide, hands spread apart. But keep a note, this should not connect here. It should be spread. The more you speak out, the more you pull that diagram out, the better your confidence you pull out. And the way better the audience can connect with you. Even the fact, confidence is an instant turn on for the audience as well. Let's now go and invite our battalion of auxiliary role players without whom we won't be able to take this meeting forward. First thing, the timer, Toastmasters Summit, the stage is all yours. Can you hear us?
Please, there is a meeting that is not responding. The camera will be
Sure. Now we have another auxiliary role player, the language evaluator. When I asked him, when do you feel if you were confident enough, maybe you won't regret it? He told me on his freshers, he could have spoken out with more confidence. He could have been a Mr. Freshers. Well, to be very honest, there are some people in this room who had an online freshers. So let us welcome on the physical stage the language evaluator, Toastmaster International.
confidence. Confidence is the feeling of surety about your own ability. And it's that feeling to trust your own self. Now comes the question that how can you increase your confidence? Well, what I do is that to increase my self-confidence, I set some daily goals, like daily challenging goals, and I make a promise to myself that if I am completing this goal, then it means that I have that confidence that I can go in front of anyone and speak my mind out. So that's my way of being confident. Now, now let's come to English speaking. You know, confidence in English speaking can be achieved through proper use of grammar, words, and phrases. And that's my job for today, to keep a check on the good and not so good use of the English language in throughout the course of the meeting. Now, you know what comes with confidence? With confidence comes another quality in the speaker, which is called vim. Now, what's this vim? Vim means robust energy and enthusiasm. When you are prepared, when you are standing here right in front of everyone, people might not notice that confidence. They will first notice your energy and enthusiasm. So it's very important to have that vim in you. Some of its usage are, he's full of vim and vigor today. Some food and a little rest should give me back some of my vim. I would encourage the audience in the physical state and also in the virtual state to please use this word maximum number of times in today's like throughout the course of the meeting. And whenever someone speaks this word of the day, you are requested to please show a thumbs up so that the speaker might feel encouraged. And one more thing, the medium of communication is English. And if you are using some other language, then please translate it to English after some time. And that's all. And I will be giving my final report in the evaluation segment. Over to you.
The new point that I got about confidence from this gentleman is knowledge, but prior knowledge to the situation. You want to know how? For example, I remember when I was preparing for UPA, I knew that old Rajendra Nagar would be the Makkah of the preparation. And if I come here, I'll be in a frenzy of all the aspirants with full will and courage preparing for this exam. Now, there are a lot of chances that you can also get demotivated. So what I did during the lockdown, I went to the syllabus, I finished a lot of it, and then I came to old Rajendra. And today, you know what? When I listen to the terms beside the people who are discussing different topics, I get encouraged and not demotivated. You know why? Because I already know those topics. Therefore, sometimes prior knowledge to a particular meeting, what is the meeting all about? What is the class going to be all about? Prior knowledge of that can give a great impetus to your confidence levels as well as your attention during the meeting at the particular moment. Let's now call the next auxiliary player, the counter of today evening, Mr. Mayur, on the virtual stage. The stage is all yours. Can you hear us? Okay, not a problem. Let's now go forward. It's like we should always move on. The next auxiliary player being the parliamentarian, the teacher of today's meeting, when we're looking at all your actions, whether you do it with full discipline of professionalism or not. Let us call on the physical stage where Bhumika sang. The stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I hope you're all doing great, and a very good evening to the virtual audience as well. Confidence that can move mountains. Definitely, confidence is a trait that can move mountains. And likewise, discipline is a trait that can surely, when with coupled with confidence, can make you win over the world. And in today's meeting, we would like for the is the topic. So to begin with, the entry and exit in rooms should only be during applauses if by chance anyone is outside for any reason. Secondly, the usage of phones should only be minimal and only when necessary. I would also like to request the virtual audience to please put their cameras on and their mics on mute and only be turned on unmute when required. Another thing is that topics like gender and politics can be talked upon, but I would just urge the audience that use their sensitivity and their to talk about these topics. They are not taboo, but they just need some amount of sensitivity. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Another thing I would like to talk about is that when we're in here, please do not interrupt anything, and especially when someone is speaking. So that could probably just no whispering and chattering. That could just disturb the speaker on the speech. Thank you so much, and I'll come up to my vote at the end of the
So what you thought? I was active. There are times on stage when we go blank and we start searching for what are the words will be going next. That's where another trait can come into action. That is, just repeat what you had just said with synonymous words. It may sound a bit vague, but at least it's better than going blank. For example, you were saying, I went to that particular place. I don't know what to do. I saw a lot of people out there. I did this, I did that, and then you went blank. Now, you went blank. Do not stop speaking. Spread your arms and say, well, it was very oblivious to go to that particular conference of people. No wonder I was having a lot of problems in understanding what they were saying, but I thought maybe I can make a statement. And if you are very attentive of the word, I didn't go blank. Therefore, inaugurate stage, and it's Mr. Arvind Shah. Well, when I asked him about when did he feel to be in confidence, he said that he feels very inconfident to talk to strangers and women. A very honest answer. The state that you are in, I was in my school days. No wonder today I'm pretty of big VIP industry. Whatsoever, please come on the speaker stage and introduce your role.
Thank you very much. I'm thankful to you having said exactly what I wrote to you about women and why I'm shy. And also, real quick, I would request, do not talk about going blank before my speech. Right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. We all have our reasons to join Toastmasters Club. But one common reason that we all share is, or I would say most of us share, is we all want to be more confident in life, and that's why we are here. But do we know we can be more confident in life while listening to others? Well, yes. While listening to others, we can improve ourselves in many ways. While listening, it increases our focus, our concentration, our ability to understand other people in a better way. Listening brought up our overall understanding of everything in life. So that's way we come across as a confident person. In Toastmasters, listening is a gift which you give to your fellow Toastmasters, and in return, you get a return gift, an aspect of becoming a better and improved speaker and a confident speaker. In Toastmasters, listening becomes more important in life because when you, because without a good listening, and effective feedback can't be given. So I will come backstage at the evaluation segment, and I will ask you a few questions about the speeches given at the stage today. And I hope you would enjoy the return gifts as well as the gift of good listening. That's it for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that succinct introduction to your role. Now, after having all that been said, different terms in my below words, let's take a note of one movement that I was making since the start of the meeting. I was standing here, and maybe at times I got my words mumbled up. You know why? Because if you had taken notice of the way I was speaking, especially at the opening of my mouth, you will see it was closed. Or maybe not closed, it was very thin. And let me here reveal a very good trait that you can actually incorporate in your public speaking. While you speak, remember to keep your four fingers this wide so that they can go into this. For example, the ritual that you had just seen before Arvind coming on the stage. Let's have a look at the new ritual. So, how are your masters? Are you all great? Respond.
Yes, yes.
Look at this. Another one. The way, the source of my voice was not my mouth. It was my diaphragm. Now, how do you do that? When I talk about posture, I told you to keep a straight stance, right? When you keep a straight stance, now comes where your head will be. Will it be here? Good morning, Toastmasters. 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 This is the face of an arrogant person. This is the face of an inconfident person. This is the perfect combination. Therefore, when you keep your head at this position, you automatically start speaking from your diaphragm. So maybe you are finding a difference between that Ritwik who came on the stage before Mr. Arvind took the stage. Now the differences are, I'm using more space, which shows confidence that I'm not being nervous on the stage. Second, I'm using my mouth to the full extent of how it can move on. And fourth, I'm also speaking from my diaphragm. Let's now bring on the stage the joke master, Mr. Pradyuman, on the
It was a warm summer morning. I had got this newfound whim of reading novels. I started with the Harry Potter and Potter. Yes, I was sitting in my class reading my Harry Potter novel when my teacher called up to recite a chapter which I was reading. Come, Pradyum, come. This is your turn now. I went. I had no idea that was the Hindi class going on. I started reciting my Harry Potter chapter. And just as my teacher said, stop, stop, what are you doing? I said, I do not fear you, you mud blood. The princesses came in, I could see the clouds turning green. I could see my principal
in the form of one word, except with the no. Very hideous, still very hideous. And she left him on. She said, go back and sit on the 180. I lost all my friends. I got it. I sat down only to hear the bells of Hogwarts. And it was the bells of Hogwarts that woke me up. And I realized that, oh my God, is my exam going on? Only 10 minutes are left. I took out my pencil and I said, mischief managed. I could not see any words written on my exam sheet. There were no words. I could not even see my name. 10 minutes left and I realized that in this journey and in this moment right now, no amount of confidence and wizardry can help me. Thank you, everyone. So let's call the timer on the stage. Well, so would you like to take up the timer, so Mr. Deepak, sir?
Our timer today is taking some technical issues.
Person who's always trying to take up the baton. Please come on the stage. The stage is all yours. Here's Mr. Deepak Menon taking up the timer, so.
We were talking about confidence here in this room, right? Well, confidence is all about stepping up and when called upon, taking up any role, any challenge. Do you agree?
Yes.
The thing is that you've got to do it with a lot of vim. If you don't, you're going to confuse everybody. So I'm here to confuse you. No, confound you. No, elaborate on what is the role of the timer. Now, I've been given this role to inform you as to how I'm going to be judging all of you in terms of the time that you use. How can you use time effectively today? Well, if you're a speaker, that is a prepared speaker, you have 5 to 7 minutes to speak, which means that the minimum time allowed to you is 5 minutes. You have an intermediate time of 6 minutes, and the upper limit is 7 minutes. And there is a 30-second grace on either side. If you are a table topic speaker today, you will have 1 to 2 minutes. 1, 1.5, and 2 are the limits. And there is a 30-second grace available at the upper end. Remember, you've got to speak for at least a minute. If you don't speak for a minute, you get disqualified. 1 minute. Essential. And how will you recognize that 1 minute? I will let you know in a moment. And then if you are an evaluator today, remember the time that you have is 2 to 3 minutes. 2, 2.5, 3. With buffers on either side of 30 seconds. So a minimum of 1 minute 30 seconds and a maximum of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So how are you going to recognize if you reach the minimum time, the intermediate time? Yes, those in the physical room and those in the virtual room, if you can, in the virtual room, see this card, please unmute yourself and say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So this is the green card which is going to be displayed at the minimum time. This is the amber card or the yellow card which will be displayed at the intermediate time. So if your speech is 5 to 7 minutes, the green card that I've shown would be displayed at 5 minutes, and this amber or yellow card will be displayed at 6 minutes. And then when you reach the upper end of the time that is allotted to you, I will display this. Can anybody tell me what is the color of this card? It's red. Yes, indeed, it's red. Red is the card that I'm going to display to you, and that really is an indication that you now have to come to a stop. Yes, but unlike on a traffic signal, when you see the red, you've got to stop. Here, you still have 30 seconds. Remember, don't use this as a traffic signal. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. But in Toastmasters, it's all right to take another 30 seconds. But if you go beyond that 30 seconds, you get disqualified. So remember, green, yellow, and red. That means you've got 30 seconds left. Try to speak for at least the minimum time, whatever you're doing today. So remember, do not stop speaking until you see the green card. And if you do that, I will know that you are full of vim today. Mr. Toastmaster.
Well, let's see. That's all prepared by now. Okay, so we have Mr. Accountant of the Day, one who will be keeping up the notes of your R's and arms and filler words. Let's bring on the stage, on the virtual stage, Mr. Mayur on the particular virtual stage. Yes, the stage is also.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'll be playing a role of the R counter today. But before I start with my brief introduction, let's briefly talk about confidence. So when you enter in an environment or in a situation, it's found difficult to decision. What do you feel? Do you have second guess yourself? Or confident people are not immune and self-doubt, but they enjoy strong sense of security, clarity, and trust in themselves. Confidence affects every area of our life, like including work and relationships. Many experiences can damage your confidence, but it's worth making the effort to build it back up again. So as the R counter, my responsibility is to count those sounds and unnecessary repetitive words that you may use while delivering your speech. At the stage, these words are like that you use while delivering your speech. These are actually fillers that affect the effectiveness of your speech. So I'll be counting them and I'll be present my report to you at the evaluation segment right at the end of the meeting. That's it for now. Thank you, Toastmasters, and back to you.
Thank you so much. Let's now move forward to the next segment, the PM speeches segment, where some of the speakers have come forward with their all handmade, specially brewed content for you. The first speaker being TM Pooja Kateja. But before calling her on the stage, let's call her evaluator on the stage first, TM Shivangi Mittal.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Toastmaster Pooja. Well, today Toastmaster Pooja is going to deliver her level 2 project speech, which is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. The purpose of her speech is for her to share her experience about mentoring in the Toastmasters community. The timer, to please note that the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. And today, now that we're talking about confidence, a quick tip for Toastmaster Pooja is that whenever she is just about to enter the stage, tell yourself, it's showtime. Toastmaster Pooja, it's showtime. Thank you.
Now we have next first speaker of today's evening. Part of mentoring, TM Pooja Kateja. TM Pooja Kateja, part of mentoring. That's it.
Mentoring. What is mentoring? All of us at some point in our lives have come across mentors, and I'm sure most of us have had mentors in our lives. So what exactly is a mentor? Who exactly is a mentor? Everyone has their own definition. Think of a mentor. For me, I feel that we always had a default mentor in our life and an assigned mentor. Yeah, a default mentor. So when I say a default mentor, I mean an unassigned mentor. When we are born and we begin our journey, our parents, our extended family, siblings, friends, they all become our default mentors. They guide us, they help us solve our confusions in life. And that's where our mentoring journey begins, when we don't even know about it. So talking about mentoring, I don't think there is anything as valuable in our lives as having an effective mentor in our life. Sadly, I came to know about the value of a mentor very late in my life. I came to know about it when I joined Toastmasters. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Welcome everyone on the virtual stage. That's three objectives that I would potentially like to talk about. First one being, what is mentoring and why is it important? Second one being the importance of mentoring in my personal life. And third one being how you all as a Toastmaster can use mentoring in an effective manner. So fellow Toastmasters, which one would you like me to focus on today? If you all were listening.
The last aspect.
And that was?
Like, so how we can interpret our own personal life.
Okay, anyone else? I hope you all are listening to me. Well, I'm going to talk about all three. Starting with the importance of mentoring, I feel that mentors play a very important role in our lives. Firstly, we've been there and done that. So starting, I'll give an example of our Toastmasters club only. So when we have a mentor in Toastmasters, we already have someone who has been through the stage fears and different stages of public speaking and phobias and fears. So we can actually take an example from them, learn from their experiences, and make our journey much smoother and faster. Secondly, mentors can actually help us push, and they actually do push us a lot to learn. They can immediately figure out where we are lagging, guide us through the reading materials, what all we can read, and improve on the areas where we lag. Thirdly, they have a different whole lot of network and connections. They can actually help us. They can help us get connected and succeed. So now coming to the second one, my journey with a mentor. It's almost going to be a year when I joined Toastmasters. This is in May 2021. I registered for my icebreaker speech. It used to be online that time, and I registered for an icebreaker speech, and I called up Shivangi, the then president that time, and I told her that I will not be able to speak about myself for 5 minutes. She was visibly shocked, but then she encouraged me that she literally said this, "Can you ho jayega?" Meaning you'll be able to do it. Just go for it. But I was pretty nervous, and meanwhile I happened to get in touch with distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, and during my this conversation with him, we had a virtual Zoom meeting, and I was telling him, even though I was a little shy to mention that I'm actually shocked and I'll not be able to talk for 5 minutes, I did mention it to him, and since then until now, the reason I've been able to stand up and even speak for 5 minutes is in itself an achievement for me, and that's all because of the mentoring and encouragement that I've had from my fellow mentors. And thirdly, how you all as a Toastmaster can benefit is actually a combination of both of them. To me, for me, my mentor never mentioned or never told me do this, do that. He actually always challenged me, always encouraged me, and always told me to think on my own feet. And I'm really thankful. I've had a wonderful experience with all the evaluations and mentoring that have gone through in past 1 year that has actually given me the courage to come here and speak today. And lastly, I would like to end with a very powerful quote. According to Dr. Ralph Medley, the founder of Toastmaster, mentoring creates enthusiasm. Mentoring creates enthusiasm. Once you light that fire, the only thing it needs is some kindling. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Over to you.
Wonderful speech. Even I could also recollect my mentoring speech where I took a lot of names in this Toastmasters who have impacted me in any way or other. Now, without any further ado, Let's now move forward to the next speaker of today's evening, TM Simran Thaplia. But before that, let me go on stage, the virtual stage, TM Rashmi Sikri Harivalja. The stage is all yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I believe all of you are full of women vigor. Are you?
Yes.
Then please give a big round of applause once again, because that is the way I can come to know that you are full of vigor and vim. Thank you very much. I believe with this wonderful theme that confidence moves mountains, Ritvik Dash has already set the ball rolling in the meeting. And let me introduce the speaker, TM Thapliyal, Simran Thapliyal, sorry. Dear Simran, a very good evening to you. And I know you are already a confident and wonderful speaker, right? But with the tips given by Ritvik Dash, I think and I believe that you are going to rock the show. So Simran is going to deliver her level 3 project 1 speech under the presentation mastery, and the objective of the project is persuasive speaking. With this wonderful title, Killing with Kindness, I am eagerly waiting to listen to her. Dear Simran, how you are going to kill with kindness. The timer may note that the time limit for her is 5 to 7 minutes. So all the very best, TM Simran, and back to you, TM Ritvik Dash.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this benevolent word. I hope TM Simran is absolutely motivated. Let's now, with all vim and valor, welcome on the stage, TM Simran Thaplia. Killing with kindness. Killing with kindness, TM Simran Thaplia. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to make a small correction. So the pathway is innovative planning and not presentation mastery. Just wanted to correct that. And secondly, wanted to check if I'm audible to the audience by MCA. Great.
Yes, you are.
Great. Thank you. Killing with kindness. I want to take you all on a story. I met Aishwarya when she was 7 and I was 17 years old. Aishwarya was a short girl with twinkly eyes, frizzy hair, and a pocket full of excitement. She stopped me in the middle of a crowd and demanded that I give her 10 rupees. I refused. Not only because it was unethical to do so, because I didn't have cash. Let's be real, who even carries cash anymore? Anyway, so I replied, I said, पैसे नहीं दूंगी, कुछ और चाहिए तो बताओ. Basically what that means is, I can't give you cash, but if you want anything else, I'm happy to give it to you. Now most kids ask for food, chocolates or milk. I know because I've done this several times, but she was different. She said, doctor ka set chahiye. Kitchen set I've heard, but a doctor's set, I was surprised. We began the hunt in a market nearby until we found that set. And after a long hunt, alas, we found it. And the first thing that Aishwarya told me after she found it was, Didi kehte to sab hain, bolte to sab hain, par karta koi nahi hai. Which translates to, everyone talks, but nobody really walks the talk. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and friends. I didn't know it then, but she just taught me the greatest lesson in growing up, right there. I spent the next 7 years of my life working with nonprofits all across the country. And there were a few people who were genuinely doing what they preached, but most were just making hay while the sun shines. And I realized the one thing in common with every institution that I worked with was this. Bolte to sab hai, karta koi nahi. I wondered why people, institutions, organizations never actually walk the talk. Why did companies commit to preventing global warming, but only ended up greenwashing their brand and doing little work on the ground? Why was the world full of hypocrites? And with a lot of vim, I decided I wanted answers. So one day I sat down and I watched this movie, Nayak. Now, naturally, I wondered if people were inherently evil as they're shown in the movies, and that's the reason why they're not following what they preach. Are they really sitting down in million-dollar mansions, plotting to destroy the mankind, the humankind, and the world? But if that were the case, why would they even preach to be kind in the first place? Why would people set up institutions and help people even a little bit? I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I knew that humankind was not evil. And so I ruled that out. And I continued my search for answers. At another time, I was walking down Sarojini Market, shopping and enjoying and having a gala time. And I passed upon a statue of the Buddha. And I wondered if he was right. And people were inherently selfish. Not bad or evil, but they just only thought about themselves, about their needs and desires, about getting that next promotion or that dress at all costs. Maybe, I thought, this could be true. But I looked around and I saw friends skipping classes, helping their friends cope with the death of his mother. And I saw strangers making lunch for those stuck alone in quarantine, selflessly. So I believed humankind cannot be just selfish. So why do we still see pretense but not real change? I kept asking myself this, and I realized that my quest for this answer, my obsession for this answer, wasn't really leading to any change either. While I kept searching for a way to blame the world for its incompetence, I wasn't doing anything to change the world either. And why wasn't I? Why couldn't I? How could I? I thought I'm just one person. And that's when it hit me. When we were kids, we were all born kind. But growing up, we forgot about the power of our kindness. We don't believe in it anymore. When we see the world being divided by people, we never speak up. When we see wastage and pollution, we never speak up. All we do is post about it on social media, and that's not enough. Our lack of belief stops us from harnessing our kindness into action. A few days ago, I was invited to another Toastmasters meeting, and I was asked this question: what does leadership mean to you? And after thinking about it for some time, I responded that leadership means showing up and following through. And I think now, as potential leaders, we must follow through with our values into actions. In my little experience of this world, I have learned that kindness cannot be institutionalized. It cannot be politicized or privatized. Kindness flows around like this little leaf, following the direction of love and altruism. And yes, maybe it falls down on a windless day, but it will rise back up on a windy one. Today, I want everyone on Zoom and everyone in that room to look at their neighbor, their friend, their fellow Toastmasters, and introspect honestly. Am I kind to them? I want everyone to close their eyes and think about your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your auto wale bhaiya, your domestic help, and everyone you meet, and ask yourself, am I kind to them? And lastly, I want you to keep your eyes closed and think about yourself, your beautiful messed up mind, your bruised body, your probably inflated liver, and your persistent heart, and ask yourself, am I kind to myself? And it's okay if the answer to each of these questions isn't yes yet. I hope one day you harness the power of your kindness into action and change that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Her words spoke vigorous, astoundingly great, vim and vigor. Well, now we have two more characteristics before I move to the table topics. Table topic is going to be completely impromptu. So take a note of this. First, your eye movements. Normally, while we are speaking, we normally have this tendency of sticking our eyes only to that person who's looking into us. It conveys that you are nervous. Kindly do not do it. Therefore, the only way out to show that you are not nervous is to hover your eyes all around the meeting, the conference hall, which shows that you're speaking to everyone and not just to that one person who is looking at you. Second, speaking clearly. Talk slowly. Necessary, very slowly. But your words must be super clear as water, so that all those sounds are clearly visible. That shows confidence. With all those two characteristics that I've just mentioned, let's now see whether my words could create some actions or not. And welcome on the stage the table topic masters of today's evening, TM, Anmol, Isar.
You're probably wondering, right? What am I looking at? What are you wondering, right? What I was looking at, I was preparing for my speech, right? Everything I usually send you a screenshot, right? But I'm looking at nothing. I am looking at nothing. See? Nothing. 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 Okay, so before we get started, let me get some filler words out. So, like, I mean, okay. So, Mr. R. Counter, can you note all of these down? That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. So, well, today's single confidence, right? I usually prepare a script for all these things. I usually send him the script. Tim Respect, who is my mentor, I usually send him all the scripts which I take his approval, then I usually say it. I usually sort of impromptu do a lot of stuff. But this time I thought, you know what? Screw this thing. Screw it. I'm gonna go alone. I'm gonna say whatever I want. Adapt. To speak is the best way to do that. So I'll be giving you a bunch of impromptu speeches. Either you volunteer for it yourself, or I'll pay. Yes, Dinky. Hello. And guess Dinky's speech is what would be, guess Dinky, what would be your spirit animal? So Before you start, remember,
I could relate it to myself. He was there in his place, and he was just roaming around, and he was just being uh, itself, and doesn't care much about the surroundings of the people that were coming and seeing him, and he was just eating the grass and just being in her own mood and in his own mood, and doesn't give a damn about anyone else who was coming and seeing him. So that I would want to be like Panda, who could just be just as moody and confident in that sense, because he doesn't care and does and want to do that he want to do in his life. So I thought maybe I could learn this thing from him, and yeah, that could be my favorite.
amazing. Okay, who is going to be next? Can you raise your hand? Anyone from the guests? You, sir. What's your name? My name is Anjit. Guest Anjit, everyone. Could be what do you like cricket? Yeah, no, I don't like okay, okay. मुझे धोनी के बस मूवी से रिलेटेड पता है, तो देखा है। ओके तो मूवी में स्ट्रगल की लाइफ की जो लाइफ थी कमजोर। No problem. Just go on speaking. That is a bit important. Wrong English, but okay. He's very struggle man. I thought it's train there. I thought कि मैं इस ट्रेन को नहीं पकड़ा तो मैं जहाँ पहुँचना मैं नहीं पहुँच पाऊँगा। Very inspiring. Okay. He tried, right? Absolutely. Can you get a round of confidence? Okay. Should I pick anyone, or is anybody going to pick? Okay, sir. You're a cricket fan? No, I'm. I like cricket, but I like football also. Okay. So we have so much. Okay. So the topic is, what if Cristiano Ronaldo came to your house to hang out? What if Cristiano Ronaldo came to your house to hang out? Go. Your name is? My name is Arun. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yeah. If Cristiano Ronaldo come to my house for hang out, so he will be, very happy. He will be very happy to come to my house because I am a great cook and I can cook anything. So, in last lockdown, when I went down with the COVID, what I did, I made great dishes, like, I made crab for the first time, and it tastes like heaven, and yeah, yeah, and it was on my Facebook. It was on my Facebook. I posted it there, so I got a lot of thumbs up or lot of likes there, and there were some people who called me up, my old friends, that I never tried it, so I want to try it. Please share the recipe for how you made it, and I got so much appreciation for that. But there were some people like, how could you eat that? This is not the appropriate time. You should not go to eat go for non-veg items. So like that. So he would be happy. Cristiano Ronaldo would be very happy that I would provide him with very great food and a great environment, because I like to dance a lot. I love music, so I have arrangements for all the arrangements. He could get in my house, and he could really feel having a good time. So that's it.
Well, I guess I would be also lucky to be hang out with you at your house.
I would love to.
I should. So from the virtual state, can we have what was his name again? And guest Tanesh. Can we have guest Tanesh first to the virtual state? Guest Tanesh.
Yeah, am I audible? And is my screen visible?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, so by the way, can we have a round of applause for guest Tanesh? So, guest Tanesh, your topic is, what if I was transformed into a robot for a day? What if I was transformed into a robot for a day? And go, guest Tanesh.
Okay, so if I am transformed into a robot for a day, what I'll do is I'll create a robot army for myself so that they can take care of all my work. And that's the first thing that I'll do. Second thing is I'll learn about physics as much as I can. I'll put it in my memory because I like reading physics, and I'll also read all the other books that I wanted to read because I'm very lazy about it. And then I'll have all the chances to get all the books that I wanted to read in a single day. Apart from that, I would like to learn some skills being a robot. Obviously, my learning capacity is high, so I would like to learn to play a flute, some other musical instrument, because I'm also again lazy about learning a musical instrument. I have been delaying it and procrastinating on it for a very long time. So these are the few things that I would like to do being a robot. And yeah, so that is it. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we have also, now it's time for our virtual audience for TM Bhavanan. TM Bhavanan, can you show us your video? Can you come to the virtual stage and grace us with your opinion? Here you are. Are we audible?
Yes.
Okay, and you are also audible. So, TM Bhavanan, your topic is okay, so the topic is, when I defeated a crocodile with my bare hands. TM Bhavanan, when I defeated a crocodile with my bare hands. And go.
Could you confirm topic once again?
It's when I defeated a crocodile with my bare hands. When I defeated a crocodile with my bare hands. Do you understand? It's also in the chat box. It's in the chat box? Yeah, we expect it.
Can you write in chat box? Yes.
It's written in chat.
Crocodile. Can you tell me about this?
I just told you about not going blank. Speak anything.
Okay. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. When I defeated a crocodile with my bare hands, so here, firstly, let's start with okay, I got it. So firstly, if I will get that chance that I can defeat crocodile, so size of crocodile is very high. Over to Toastmasters.
We tried. I came out and it was a great attempt, I would say. So that's all from my side. I'm gonna wrap up, and I would ask for the ballots to be put up in the WhatsApp group. And to the people who haven't joined the WhatsApp group yet, there's a QR code or there's a link in the, and to the virtual audience too, there's a link in the chat, Zoom chat, so that you can join the WhatsApp link and you can vote for who is the best tabletop player. That's all from my side, Mr. Timor.
For people who are not in the WhatsApp group, please open your WhatsApp camera and scan the QR code.
All I request is to exercise the democratic right to vote. I hope all have voted. Let's go to the next vote. Voting for the best speaker. We have two speakers today, TM Pooja and TM Simran. Two superb speeches. Do not get plug marks. Give your votes. Let's see who is the best speaker. Is there in the chat box? It will soon be. So basically, you got to go to the physical meeting WhatsApp group. You'll be getting a link there of giving your vote. Click on the particular button. You'll be going to a particular window. Click the person whom you want to vote for the particular post. Let's say if you want to post the best speaker, you'll be having 2 nominations. If you want to go for the table topic speaker, you're having 4 or 5 nominations. Give your vote, then put OK, and you will be having your vote registered. That's what the process is. Please do not make them public. I have all you have given your votes. Thank you so much. Great dance of democracy in some of this moment. Okay, let's have a break for 5 minutes and we'll again congregate at this particular moment, at this particular place after 5 minutes. This is the time for networking. Do use it very wisely and have some great fun. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Rashmi. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Simran.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, so you're all from Delhi.
I'm in Noida. It's not exactly Delhi.
Yeah, I mean, say North India.
Yes, yes. Where are you from?
I am from Kolkata.
Okay, nice.
Hi, Simran. Actually, I got disconnected.
Sorry?
It was a great speech, Simran.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
theme, wonderful theme. And at such a young age, if you think like that, I believe you're surely going to go a long way.
Thank you so much. I really
Yeah,
wanted to go there and speak, but
Obviously, that experience is totally different.
yes, I have not given a speech in person yet.
But you have a chance, you can go. You have an opportunity, right?
I
what
know
was the topic?
it was killing with kindness.
Okay.
Oh,
You must have
stable.
given a lot of
It was stable topic or a prepared speech?
prepared.
Oh, that's why. If it was stable topic, then you would have panic.
Yes, everyone panics at table topic.
Yeah, me also.
Simran, this was your first speech or second one?
This is actually my third speech, but I gave it after 2-3 months of gap. I actually, initially I was at JPKU, but I got a class at the same time. So then I had to switch the club. So my second speech I had given in like January or early February at that time. So it was a long gap.
Okay.
Under which, in third level, you have a choice in innovative planning. Na?
Sorry?
In third level, you have so many choices in innovative planning.
Yes. So I was told that I can select any topic right now, and there is no, like I just have to improve on the feedback that was given to me in my second speech.
In level 3, innovative planning.
Yes. Is it level? I don't know what level it is. I'm very confused about the levels and the.
Actually, it is mentioned here. That's why I'm saying level 3.
It's the third speech, so is that level 3?
No. Third speech is. It's level 1 only. Is it
Yeah,
level
so
1?
Yes.
You have
You
not
are
given
making
more
a
than
jump.
3 speeches.
this is my third speech.
Okay, then it is level 1 only, and I don't know whether I have noted wrong or is it given incorrect.
The agenda, it said presentation mastery also, which was not correct.
Correct.
I didn't see the level.
And the level I think is written wrong.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I spoke that you have to work on it is written on persuasive speaking, whereas your objective is getting feedback.
Yes.
Fine.
Did you evaluate me according to level?
Let's
So have you all are freshened up? Please be seated on your feet. Okay.
Yeah, we are already seated.
Throughout the month, there are people who give a great impetus to the working of the organization. And no wonder it is the owners of the club itself to reward and incentivize them by giving them rewards. Here is the time for that particular moment of this month where we will see how different members contributed to different working, different departments of the particular club. With all that being said, second time. Let's now begin. Let's now welcome TM Karan team on the stage for declaring the monthly awards. TM Karan the stage.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ritwik. When Toastmaster Ritwik told us about that, even when you go blank on stage, do not stop speaking. All I could think about was my IPU exam. Even if you don't know a word, you need to have an ability where you convert one sentence into paragraph and paragraph into pages. Now, taking this chance, now is the time when we reward those people who have been working behind the scenes in the club, ensuring that this meeting, the 2 hours meeting that we have on Tuesday, goes flawless. Their efforts are visible in different departments of the club. The department, namely education, where we discuss how each member progresses and improves themselves and other members. The membership department, which helps people with getting to know about Toastmasters, adding them to the club, and improving the club's diversity in general. Then we also have the PR department for people who support the club in terms of social media representation, making flyers and videos. It's time to reward them. Let's start with the PR first. The first award category which we have today is called the Screamer of the Month. This award is given to somebody who promotes the club not only in different social media websites, but also helps the club EC in preparing posters, flyers, and other various promotional materials. For the month of March, this award has been decided by the EC. Before moving ahead, I would like to also share that these awards cannot be given to the president and the vice president, education, membership, and PR. The rest of the members of the club and EC are eligible for that. So this award, the Screamer of the Month for the month of March 2022, goes to a general evaluator today, Toastmaster Navya Nitimankar. Congratulations. The second category of the award is called the Comrade of the Month. This award goes to a person who is very regular in the club meeting, helps the club with the membership growth and orientation process. One of our former members, Toastmaster Harshvardhan, has also been a winner of Comrade of the Month for a few months together. But today, this award goes to someone. This award goes to someone who is regular in almost all our meetings. He was very regular in the March month, and he also helps the club in various departments, not only membership. So this award goes to Toastmaster Darshan Singh. Toastmaster Darshan, this is for you. Now, moving ahead, we will now proceed towards the Education Department's award. The first award is called the Budding Nurturer Award. Budding Nurturer is a person who hasn't yet given his or her icebreaker, but he or she is actively taking roles and not just taking it, they are acing it. Can you guess who this member is? Look around you. He's here in the room. In the month of March, who hasn't given an icebreaker yet? This award goes to Toastmaster Anmol sir. Thank you. Next award is for the Nurturer of the Month, who has been actively taking roles and also helping with the briefings of other members. Please help me invite Toastmaster Vedant as the winner of this award. Thank you, Vedant. Yes, we do not have monetary awards for this, but the awards are beyond money. Moving on next is the award for out of the box nurturer, someone who does an innovation with their role throughout the meeting. One such innovation was done in the last meeting of March, where a table topics master changed the way he conducted table topics. Do you remember who he was? It was Toastmaster Abhishek Singh. Now, finally, the big award, the big hamper. This award is called the Member of the Month, and is given to a person who is available, is working, is dedicating himself and his time and effort to all the different departments of the club, and his presence has been helpful to the EC throughout the month. This award goes to Toastmaster Vedant Pradhan. Thank you very much. These were all the awards for the month of March. Coming on from the next month, we are also introducing another award, which is called the Mentor of the Month. This award will be given to those mentors whose mentees perform really well. Now, more details about this award will be shared on the group, and Toastmaster Ritwik and Toastmaster Ankit Sinha will be taking care of the integrities of this award. I hope next time you all work really hard. If you want to learn a skill and work with the club EC, you are free to contact us, any of the members, and we will take you from there. Thank you very much, and back to TMOG.
Now, another very important trait towards confidence is to learn from your past mistakes and not to repeat them. Rectification. Sometimes it comes from a self-realization, and sometimes the external people tell you about what problem you have. Okay? When I go back home, I'll have an introspection. Ritwik, you did this wrong. You should have done it this way. Similarly, an external agent in our club meeting is the position of a general evaluator who will be evaluating all the things that happen in this particular conference room today. So, let me take this opportunity to bring on stage TM Navya Niti Master.
Wow, what an informative meeting it was, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
You know, after a span of like 5 to 7 minutes, Ritwik is coming and telling us how can we become more and more confident, all the plus points which we can inculcate in our speeches. So I feel while speaking, 75% of the conversation or the speech depends on how confident we are, how well we communicate, how can we attract the other person to whatever we are speaking. And when I talk about confidence, when I first attended this CDTM meeting as a guest, was back in October last year, and we were online at that time. So when our president asked the guests to introduce themselves, what I did was I left the meeting and joined back just after 5 minutes. And I thought, like, okay, guest introduction would have been done. So I am free now. I can switch off my camera and spend the 2 hours listening to people. From that day till today, it's been a journey, a beautiful journey of learning, unlearning, relearning, and evaluation has been an integral part of that. Coming every week to this place, speaking something, and every single time getting evaluated on what you speak, and then going back home, introspecting how well did you speak and how can you improve next time. So evaluation segment for me, I feel it's really important. And on that note, let me call upon our speech evaluators today. The first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Shivangi. She evaluated the speech of Toastmaster Pooja. Toastmaster Pooja. Toastmaster Shivangi.
Good evening, Ritwik, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and Toastmaster Pooja in particular. Let me share with you all 5 elements from our speaker's speech today that will help anyone with any speech in making it a winning speech. Let's start with the beginning. She started with some questions. What is mentoring? What is mentoring to me? And that is typically a very great start to put the thinking cap on for an audience. Now, coming to the second aspect, which is the unexpected quiz. She stated that she is going to talk about 3 aspects from her mentoring journey, but we didn't expect that she would now go on to ask us, but which aspect do you want me to talk about first? This did 2 things. Number 1, it called for an audience interaction, and number 2, all of you who were not listening, she quickly pulled your attention back into her speech. Talking about the next element, which is ending on a thoughtful note. She shared some thoughtful words by the founder of the Toastmasters community, Dr. Smedley. She ended on a powerful note, which again helped at the end of his call. Next, coming to another aspect of audience interaction, which is taking names of people from the audience. This is another way how you can engage people, because when you're taking names of people who are there, they're feeling excited about it. And the ones whose names have not been taken, they're wondering, will she take my name? Will she not? So I should probably start listening, because I don't know when she's going to ask her next question. Now, let me also share some small areas of improvement from her speech today that will help you all and our speaker in using these elements flawlessly with will. Firstly, the beginning. Now, when we are talking of beginning with questions, it sounds like a cliche beginning, because now everybody has started to do that. This hack is very easily available on Google. Whenever you're writing a speech, the first thing you do is Google some tricks for a winning speech, right? So it's becoming cliche. So my recommendation is to do something out of the box, to really think. Thirdly, talking about audience interaction. Is a risky territory, so I would advise
advise her to avoid that. Finally, she met her speech objectives because she not only shared her experience, but also shared some textbook knowledge about mentoring in general. To summarize, our speaker does have the recipe of what it takes to create a winning speech, but what she needs is a mother's touch. And in our case, a mentor's guidance. That was all from my side. Back to our general evaluator. Thank you, Toastmaster Shivangi, for that detailed evaluation. Now let me call upon Toastmaster Rashmi, who will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Simran.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Evaluator TM Bhatia. Good evening once again, everyone, and especially TM Simran. Well, nobody walks the talk. This is the message TM Simran has tried to deliver us through her wonderful speech. And I would like to commend the speaker for the beginning of her speech. When she began her speech with the name Aishwarya. For a moment, I was thinking as if she is talking about Aishwarya Rai, but she took us to talk about Aishwarya, a 7-year-old girl, and how the anecdote she narrated was used to deliver the message. Was a wonderful way of beginning the speech, TM Simran. And also, when the speaker narrated her personal experience of working in NGOs for a long time, and ultimately how she came to realize that everyone makes hay while the sun shines. It was a great way of connecting with the audience. Great job done, TM Simran. She was able to connect with the audience wonderfully through these anecdotes. And I would also like to appreciate her for using her hands to show $1 million mention, like she was doing it like this again and again. So it was also wonderful. However, to take her speech to the next level and fill it with vim and vigor, I would recommend her some suggestions. First thing, although I am not walking the talk, but I would suggest her that she should have stood up. She should have stood up while delivering the speech. She should have exhibited her confidence, her vim and vigor through her gestures, because her body, her torso part was not visible. Like mine is also not visible right now properly. Hers was also not visible, and the hand gestures were visible partly. So if she should have stood up, her gestures would have been visible, her body language would have been visible, and it would have made her speech more impeccable. Also, she should have used all the tips given by TM Ritvik Dash to enhance the quality of delivering her speech, because he has already given wonderful tips today. Moreover, I would say overall, I loved her wonderful theme, her deep concern for the humanity at such a young age, and the content of her speech. However, by modulating her voice while speaking certain questions, while throwing whys, what, how at the audience, she could have modulated her voice in a better manner, and then it would have become great. She could have taken her speech to next level if she would have added what steps she has started taking to harness the potential of her kindness. Overall, I wish her all the very best for her future speeches and believe that she would come out with flying color in future. Thank you, and back to you, TM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now let me give my evaluation to both the evaluators, starting with Toastmaster. Okay, so it's my first time. Now we have to launch the poll. I request our tech master to launch the polls on the group. Then I'll give my evaluation. So are the polls done?
It's our time to evaluate the evaluators. We can vote.
5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, and 1. Toastmaster Pooja. Done. Okay. So starting with Toastmaster Shivangi, in the beginning she properly gave the speech objectives which Toastmaster Pooja was supposed to give her speech on, and the plus point was in her evaluation that she used the CRT approach, gave some recommendations, then a few areas in which Toastmaster Pooja can improve, and then concluded her evaluation with some positive points and encouraged CM Pooja to improve them in her next speech. And the tone, I think your tone was really encouraging, and it must have encouraged CM Pooja. And yes, the speech was, your evaluation was quite crisp and up to the mark. Then Toastmaster Rashmi, she got all our attention with her positive voice and smile on her face. She used proper hand gestures while speaking and gave all the. She also used the CRT approach and mentioned the areas in which our speaker could improve and take care next time. And since we are running late, so now let me call upon the team of auxiliary role players with their report. First, our timer for today, Toastmaster Deepak Khanata.
Hasn't this been an exciting meeting? Lots of whims displayed by all who came up to the stage today. Am I right? Do you agree?
Yes.
But at the same time, there was not so much whim displayed by those who went over time. There were two of our speakers today who went a little over time, and I would like to suggest to them that they need to manage their time a little better. One was our prepared speaker, Simran, who spoke for and we have our veteran evaluator, past President Shivangi, who went a little over time as well, when she managed to clock 3 minutes and 38 seconds. 8 seconds over. But I must congratulate everybody else because they managed to speak exactly on time. Very well done. Today, Pooja had 5 to 7 minutes. She spoke for 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Congratulations, Pooja. You managed to achieve the 5-minute mark. Our table topic speakers, the Panda, guest Dinky, spoke for 1 minute, 19 seconds. The one who's celebrating with MS Dhoni, playing cricket with him, our guest Ranjit, spoke for 1 minute, 25 seconds. Guest Arun, who's cooking for Cristiano Ronaldo, spoke for 2 minutes and 1 second. Congratulations. And guest Tanish, who is a robo, spoke for 1 minute, 3 seconds. And finally, the crocodile today, Toastmaster Bhavanan, spoke for 1 minute and 22 seconds. So all table topic speakers were on time. And our evaluator, Toastmaster Rashmi Sikri, you managed to do it. You spoke for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. 5 seconds more and you'd been disqualified. Good job, everybody. Shivangi and Simran, you better need to watch time And another thing that I would like to recommend to everybody here is that we need to keep our time management going. We're at this point in time running 14 minutes late in this meeting. So let's be more careful about how we utilize our time. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak, for that crisp report. Then I'd like to call upon our language evaluator, Toastmaster Vedant.
So the word of the day, Vim, was used 12 times. 3 times by our Toastmaster of the day, 2 times by Toastmaster Consumer, 4 times by our DTM Deepak Menon sir, and 3 times by Sikri ma'am. There was a good use of a phrase as clear as water by Toastmaster Ritvik, I guess. And some of the good usage of words were like vague, oblivious, succinct, mumble, diaphragm, flattery, and I guess some panda, moody. And also use of Hindi was made 4 times throughout the course of the speech by Toastmaster Simran. But she had translated it to English every time, like "Paisa nahi hai, kuch aur chahiye to bol." Bol se to sab hai, karta kuch nahi. And I was not able to write down the other 2 sentences, so sorry for that. And that's all from my side. Over to General.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vedant. Next in the line is our parliamentarian, Toastmaster Umika. A very good evening, Toastmaster. Where a great one. And I was going around. I could see that there were a lot of things that were being followed and being proper in line. And yes, that is, coupled with confidence, is a recipe to success. Well, when there are so many things that were in line, there were certain things that I would like in our meetings to be conducted a little better, so that the flow of the meeting could be as good as anything. So firstly, I would like to say that there was certain usage of unnecessary usages of cell phones that could have been avoided a little. And secondly, there were certain entrances that were made during the speaker was on stage or during or unnecessary, and that could have been also avoided. So thank you so much. Thank you, Toastmaster Umika. Now we have the role player who will be testing how attentive we were throughout the meeting with his set of questions. On that note, let me call upon listener of today, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Evaluator. Oh, well, first let me confess something before that I cannot move further. I've been the worst listener in my entire life. In my school, I was someone who used to look at outside the window, and while speakers were speaking here, the window was right there, and I was like, I had to focus a lot. So, but I'm thankful for Toastmaster for giving me an opportunity where I could improve my mistakes and be a better person again. So here are a few questions that I'm going to ask, and I hope you will be able to answer them. In case you don't know, even then try, because I would like to see people as bad listeners as I am. So, so here are the questions. As for Karanveer, who's the wealthiest man? Apart from Karanveer.
Your wife's sister's husband.
Right. Great. Okay, I'll ask you questions about the guest. That how well you heard their introduction. So, Arun, what does Arun tell about his job? Where does he work? We have good listeners. Navya.
He works in MPS.
Okay, and what's his designation? Manager. Oh, great, great. Now, get finished. What's his hobby? In terms of sports, football. Football. Right. Now, another man's wise advice. What was the advice that Ritwik's dad gave to him? Yes.
Tell a lie so well that it does not appear to be a lie.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, when Pooja Kotecha joined Toastmasters Club? May 2020. Yeah. What is leadership according to Simran? Yes.
Stick over values and practical. Stick over values and practical.
You're somewhere around there, but not exactly. Yes. Somewhere there. Somewhere there.
I don't know.
Somewhere there. All right. Anybody else? All right. She said showing up and following. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Now the polls will be launched for the best auxiliary role player in the group. Okay, so again, my mistake. We missed one auxiliary role players report. Our counter Toastmaster Mayur, he's on in the virtual space. So I'd like to call Toastmaster Mayur now. This is
Thank you, General Evaluator. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. In my life, I was thought it was a really easy task to flaw someone's and to find mistakes in others. But believe me, it's not. So today, my role is as an R counter, and I'm going to count the filler words. So here is my report, and we are starting from TM Puja. So TM Puja uses 2 times R 2 times. TM Simran uses I didn't 2 times. TM Rashmi Sikri ma'am, it's quite fluent. Our first guest use R 10 times, the 3 times. Guest Ranjit uses 5 times. Guest Arthavan uses 4 times. Guest Tanish uses 2 times. TM Bhavanan uses 2 times, and TM Navya uses 10 times 2 times. So that is my report. That's all from my side. Back to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur, for your crisp report. I'd like to confirm, are all the votes done? Okay, so we have very less time. Let me begin with the timer. Toastmaster Deepak, well, what can I say? He was there with his detailed report, and he brought some innovation while introducing all the members with their times, while using a proper adjective for that person that made his report a little humorous. So that was a good point. Then the language the role was thoroughly explained, and he presented his views as well on the theme. And the word of the day was used a lot of times during the meeting today, so that was very good. And in his report, he mentioned all the good usages of words. Then the parliamentarian today, she came on the stage with super fun energy and explained all the 6 ground rules to be followed throughout the meeting. And while giving her report, yes, she mentioned that usage of phones could have been avoided during the meeting. And it basically encourages the speaker, because since we are all offline, so by speaking, if we see that the audience are not listening or are on their cell phone, so it distracts the speaker a lot. Then Toastmaster Arvind was the listener, and he came up with interesting questions. Some of them were challenging, and by some easy, and the audience also, yes. And then our counter gave a proper crisp report telling how many hours and hours were used, including mine. This will be the maximum number. Yes, and at the end, the joke master, he also used his super fun childhood experience as in his speech today, and we all loved it. Then about the meeting today, so the meeting was started on time, and about my role will be improved till the last month, June. I am improving, and it will be. I think I'll improve in the coming months also. Then the president also started the meeting with great enthusiasm and positive energy that he has always. Welcomes the guests, and also used story and something more motivating and encouraging in the beginning of the meeting. Then what about TMOD? Toastmaster District. Well, we all got to know a lot, got to learn a lot in today's meeting. Where in every 5 to 10 minutes, our TMOD came and told us about how we can improve our speeches in the coming months, and how well we can present ourselves by speaking. And that was the theme today. How can we become more confident by speaking? So I think there were like 10 to 12 points that he mentioned throughout 2 hours. So that was really informative. And on that note, I hand over the stage back to CMOD. And thank you for this super informative meeting.
We are having time, but I hope the objective is clear. You are confident, your posture is clear, you are speaking from the diaphragm, words clear, spoken clarity. With all that being said, third time. Here I hand over the stage back to the president. Are you confident right now? Yes. Are you confident right now? Yes. Thank you so much. Over to the president.
Thank you very much, our energetic Toastmaster of the day. May I now request you all to please vote for the best role player. We had Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster SPEAK.LEAD.NETWORK, our table topic master, Toastmaster Anmol, and our debutant general evaluator, Toastmaster Navyaniti Makar. We will take 5 more seconds for that. Four, 3, 2. I hope we are done with it. As far as confidence goes, I personally believe that preparation is a great factor which ensures that you are confident. I'm a kind of person who may or may not prepare very, very well, but if given a time, if given a chance, I make sure that I prepare well in order to appear confident. But there are times when life doesn't give you a chance to prepare, and then that's when table topics help. Even in one of my engineering exams, which I just gave, we have a subject called human values and professional skills. And the entire exam came out of syllabus. But it was entirely out of professional world, how we deal with others, how we deal with people in the corporate. And I felt like each question was a table topic, and I had to write about it. That's where Toastmasters also helped me. Do we have the results, Shivangi? Who do you think was the best speaker for today? Toastmaster Pooja or Toastmaster Simran? It was Toastmaster Pooja. Who do you think was the best evaluator today? Was it our IPP Toastmaster Shivangi or was it Toastmaster Rashmi? On the basis of timing and on the basis of votes as well, it was Toastmaster Rashmi who has won it. The next one should be a no-brainer. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player today? The virtual audience, who do you think was the best auxiliary role player today? Please feel free to unmute yourself. I hope they are also saying CDTM Deepak Menon. It's legitimate. Thank you so much for taking the role at the very last moment and nailing it. Who do you think was the best table topic speaker today? Was it the person who caught crocodile? Was it the moody panda? Was it? Yes, it was our guest Arun, who has won it. Who do you think was the best role player of the day? The big hamper. Toastmaster Ritwik, say yes if you think he is. Toastmaster Anmol, if you think he is. And how many votes for Toastmaster Navya? Yes. The best role player of the day is Toastmaster Ritwik. Thank you very much for this wonderful evening today. Thank you all for coming. From the coming meetings, I believe we can work upon time management so that we also end on time as we start our meeting on time. Not just that, I also thank you for bringing this wonderful energy here every time. Your amazing ideas is what makes this meeting productive. We will meet next week, same time at same place. Please keep your masks on. If there is any update about the COVID situation, it seems to be changing in Delhi, we will inform you on the group. But for now, we will be meeting at the same place next week at the same time. Thank you very much. I hope you have great days ahead. Can we now all assemble for a good picture? Please come this side. That will also have space. The cheese.